We have to understand that nobody's going to change us in our community but us.
Yes.
So as I look back at my journey now, I understand that God prepared me for something when I was young. When I thought that baseball and football was my journey, He had something else in store for me.
Today, before I introduce one of my great friends, is actually my ex-boss. But we're going to tell that whole story in a few minutes. But I had some powerful words of encouragement about purpose and passion. And so, purpose is the reason or why behind what we do, primarily for others, like contribution. Passion is about emotions, the motivation, and what makes us feel good. Do what you love. Passion can be all over the place, wild and exciting, but purpose is much more focused. Purpose is based on conviction, while passion is based on energy, feeling, and interest. So today I would like to, introduce our guest on Purpose and Passion, Mr. Tommy, aka T-Top Rivers. He's a community liaison, and we're going to talk more about the urban safety specialist and being an author. So thank you for coming up here to Inglewood.
Finally here, huh? Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
yes, thank you. So take our viewers down memory lane, like where your parents are from and where were you born and raised?
Uh, Parents are from the South, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mom migrated here. I've been here pretty much all my life. Um, so yeah, pretty much Chattanooga, Tennessee from the South. Mom and dad here. Mom and dad separated when I was very young. So raised in West Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Grew up there. So yeah.
Okay, so how was your childhood? We talk about like before we get into the meat and potatoes of this interview is, did you ever get bullied? How was your childhood, before the gang life?
Um, I would have to say never got bullied. Um, I was kind of on the opposite side of that. I wouldn't say bullying, but I was one of the dudes who always felt like that. I had a little fight on my hands. So you know, I grew up in a community where I had to learn how to fight, and no, I ain't never had to get bullied. Never.
Okay, okay. So then when did you start getting into that environment of what they call gangs? Like how did that happen? What introduced you to that lifestyle? Like for me, my parents were gang members, so it was already in the family.
Yeah, generational for you. For
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm gonna say mine was economics,
Okay.
and I'm gonna give you a spin on that, right? I say economics because my mother didn't have the economic means to live in Beverly Hills.
Yes.
So I was raised in an underprivileged community with in less immovable circumstances and a lot of root causes to dealing with drugs, alcohol, and raising that environment. So, I say that because again, if my mother had the economic means, I would have lived in a different environment. So I was raised in an urban community.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow, that was the first for me. Economic means. Um, I think it's important because when we in general uh, talk to people, get to know them, hear their story, you find that everybody is different. Similarities in some ways, but different. And so I think this is a very good answer because it's never that answer I've never heard. And I think it's important because I know there's other people out there that experience what you've experienced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, did during that journey, did you graduate from high school and things of that nature? Or did you get into sports?
See, I'm gonna tell you it's crazy. See, I grew up playing baseball and football all of my life from the
Yes.
age of about 7, 8 years old. Very good at it. Played at Baldwin Hills Park. Pretty good baseball, football, all-star teams, Golden Gloves, MVP, all that stuff in football and baseball. Unfortunately, by the age 12, 13, I was caught up in a gang lifestyle in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just being a product of my environment where my mother worked 2 jobs, so she had to go to work. So a lot of the times the streets raised me. She did a hell of a job. My queen, still to this day, is making sure that I had from my primary needs, food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah.
She made sure she was at all of my games, but outside of that, I had 4 other siblings, so it's 5 of us. So mom had to go provide for all of us with an absentee father. So, when she left, me going to school, the streets raised me.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. So when you got into sports, did you graduate from high school or was just like no high school diploma? And what was next after
I'll
that?
give you a cold story. At the age of 15, 16, I was gang banging really hard. And I was in that limbo of baseball and the street life and football and the street life. So my mother sent me to Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the age of 16, to go to school and try to get my life together.
Yes.
I got down there 2 weeks in. I called my mom, said, I can't stay here. You got to send me back. I can't do it. Little behold, she sent for me, came back. 2 weeks later, I was shot.
Oh.
2 weeks later, I was shot. 6 months later, 7 months later, I was incarcerated.
Wow.
Where I went to prison to do 10 years of my life, from 17 years old to 27 years old.
Wow.
I came home at 27 years old, got a job working at Macy's in Sherman Oaks.
Mm-hmm.
Like wild, crazy story, Raina. Wild, crazy story.
Yeah.
Got a job putting sensors on clothes.
Yes.
For like 4 hours a night, going at midnight, get off at 4 in the morning. 6 months later, I was assistant dock manager. 7 months after that, I was a dock manager where I did the hiring and firing. I was manager of the year twice, star counsel 3 times, associate of the month 5 times. My life saw God working for me.
Yes.
6 months. I'm there 4 or 5 years at Macy's, Sherman Oaks. Then I got a knock at my door from Bo Taylor, rest in peace, who worked with Jim Brown, Hall of Fame football player, and asked me to come meet with Jim. Jim wanted to talk to me. They wanted to help put together a ceasefire on the west side of Los Angeles. So this time I'm working. It's still rough, just coming home from all that long time. So I'm like, what's in this for me, Bo? So he like, man, just come up to Jim house. So he want to holler at you. So it's Jim Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hall of Fame football player. So I'm like, let me take this trek. You know what I mean? Up here and see what's going on. So I get up to Jim's house, and Jim's like, hey, man, young fella, how you doing, man? I heard a lot about you, this and that. He's like, man, we working on this west side of Los Angeles, trying to put some things together, man, and we need your assistance. I hear you got a little influence out of your community, and we can't do it without your community.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay. So he asked me to go through the American curriculum. Changed my life.
Wow.
I'm like, curriculum? What do you mean? Come on, man. This not gonna put no money in my pocket. What's this gonna do for me?
Yes.
So he said, man, just do me a favor, man. Go through this curriculum. He said, every morning, Bo would train you personally at my house. So I got up every morning, went up to Jim Brown's house, Hollywood Hills, trained, graduated from the program, 15-chapter curriculum dealing with the responsibility of self-determination. I think, therefore, I am drug and alcohol abuse, family, community, dealing with credit, all of the life skills that we really need, the basic essential needs that we need to survive on a daily basis. I went through the program, and lo and behold, it changed my thinking.
Yes.
It changed my thinking. So after I went through the program, he asked me to become a facilitator of the American program, to go into the schools and train the curriculum that I just graduated from.
Yes.
If this not God, I don't know what is. So I got into the program, worked with Jim Brown for 10 years, went on to be one of Jim's lead facilitators, myself, Rockhead, Big Ship, Loon, rest in peace. to the point where Lone and I, rest in peace, start going into the schools and creating our own contracts in the charter schools, Thurgood Marshall, Frederick Douglass, Jonas Salk, all the different schools. Ourselves, we got that good at it. Uh, I stayed with Jim for 10 years. Fast forward 10 years, I left Jim, went over to Aztec Rising, where I met the future mayor of Inglewood, yourself. And now here we are.
Yes. Wow. My goodness. That and it's crazy because we never had that full convo, and just hearing you share your story, that is God. Because only
Yeah.
God could do that.
Yeah.
You know? So now let's talk about urban safety specialists. Like, educate the viewers on what that is and what are you doing now as an urban safety
Oh,
specialist.
man. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward from working with you at Aztec Rising to being a gang coordinator from there, then going on to work with Akil Bashur, the top facilitator, top urban safety specialist training in the country. The BUILD program, PCI, TI. I've been working with a brother, Akil Bashur, for the last 13 years now. So I've been in this work now about 23 years, something like that, since I've been home, pretty much since I've been home. I've been home about 30 years. But yeah, so I've worked with a brother, Akil Bashur, urban safety specialist. What we do is we train intervention preventionists to get their credentials,
Yes.
to go back into their communities and take ownership of their communities. We teach the youth how to access resources out of their communities, what city council is, what the mayor's office is. We deal with violence, interruption, conflict, ceasefire negotiations. We train all the way from the mayor's office to the new grid program under Karen Bass, new leadership. Before that, there was a lot of red tape for us in Los Angeles dealing with intervention. So we kind of took our program abroad and went international, all the way to Geneva, to helping out build out prong one, prong two of intervention, what that means, and going on to now be part of the Biden's 16 city initiative, where we're in Baltimore, Washington D.C., a lot of different states, training, helping out build out the structures of urban communities to professionalize the work for them. Where they can go back and change and build and give resources back in their communities and really, because we have to understand that nobody's going to change us in our community but us.
Yes.
So as I look back at my journey now, I understand that God prepared me for something when I was young. When I thought that baseball and football was my journey, He had something else in store for me. So I don't look at anything that I've gone through on my journey as a mishaps. I look at them as prerequisites of where I am now.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Wow. So when we met at Aztec Rising, you know, how was that? Like, like the journey working for Aztec Rising,
Oh man, you want to expound on that?
No, I want you to do that. Because you got there before I did.
Yes, I did.
So that's why I want you to share that journey. And how did you feel when I first got hired and all of that?
Well, to be honest, I was
share your
glad.
journey first.
No, okay. Now I'm gonna tell you how I got there. I left Jim Brown, and I went over to. Bo asked me to go over to help Enrique over at Aztec Rising.
Rest in peace,
in Lincoln Heights. I didn't know he rest in peace.
Yeah, he passed last year.
This is new to me. I didn't know this.
Yeah, he passed.
Wow.
That's what I said.
Crazy. So yeah, I went over to work with him to be the gang coordinator in East Los Angeles, where I did that for a couple of years. You were there. I brought Don Osborne in, Jeffrey Osborne's daughter, to be the case manager, oversee the case managers. My boy Spark, Donnie Gomez now, who's over at America, doing this thing. Man, it's crazy because a lot of us that were there have branched off to still be doing a lot of the work in the communities, right? So we still have vested interest in that. So it's a blessing to know where we are now. And you know what's crazy for me too. I watched your growth from hearing you tell me back then that I'm gonna be the mayor of Inglewood one day, right?
Yes.
To really seeing you go through that process, right?
Yes.
This, I mean, that is a blessing in itself to see us evolve and knowing our struggles and where we come from, right?
Yes, I agree.
And then to for us to be the liaisons, the ones who tell the story
Mm-hmm.
of those who don't have a voice, because that's really what we are. We're
Yes.
vessels God used to really tell a
Yes.
story of the unspoken, right? So we understand now that if we had different situations on our journey, that our journeys would have been different,
Yes.
right? Looking back in hindsight, but there's no rewind button on this on life. But understanding that now, I really wouldn't do anything different.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful you crossed my path. You know what I mean? That I worked for Aztec Rising and had the opportunity to get to know you and work with you and Crazy Leandre and Pollo Loco.
My
That's
boy.
my boy.
Yeah.
Yes. So regarding the urban safety specialist, let's say because obviously I never went through it, through the program,
Mm-hmm.
but what is the fee in the process if I decide to start, or if anybody on the show, the viewers that wanted to do this to belong to T, what was it?
PCITI Bill
PC.
program.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our office is on Vernon and Normandy. They
Okay.
can go to PCITI.net or the Bill program and sign up there, or they can give me a call, contact you, and then we'll help get them in the program, especially if you're part of the city. Again, like I said, right now we have blessed to have Karen Bass in position right now
Yes.
to have the grid program come over to us and be trained by us. So now it just really lets me know that you have people that are in position that really want to affect change, right?
Yeah.
Because so often in time in life we have so many people in position based on politics and relationships, but not the right people for the job to do the work in our communities, right?
Yes.
So now we have someone like Karen Bass in position now that really, understands the mission, just been around us for a long time, understands what we're doing on our journey.
Mm-hmm.
So she supports the work that we're doing. So anybody that really, again, wants to be a part of the program, again, contact you, contact myself, T-Top Roof Don't Leak on Instagram. Y'all holler, and we'll get you in the program, and it's all good. I think it's a program that's imperative for us in the community just looking to control the narrative back
Yes.
in our community to really understand, because not only are we teaching protocols and structures, some of the same safety protocols and structure guidelines that law enforcement, the fire department adhere to as far as their protocols when a call come in, what their protocols are when they get into a scene, how we position ourselves, setting up command posts, all these things, egress, debrief. We have some of the same protocols, and that's the beauty of getting through the red tape to have law enforcement and all the other public safety components respect the work that we do.
Yes.
Right. So that's something that I say that I've been able to be a part of, to that paradigm shift, to have them respect us and the work that we do. Like I know in this work, we're putting the public back into public safety. You know what I mean? So they now understand that you can't, heavy suppression does not work. You have to have tools and resources. You have to have reentry programs. You have to have systems and structures in place, for individuals to set up, for individuals to become successful, to have any sense of normality on their journey at all.
Wow. That is a powerful nugget right there. And the reason why I said, I would be interested too is because the last course that I took was just being certified through gang intervention with the Pat Brown Institute, and that was years ago.
We went through that. That was with
I
Tony
know.
Massengale, and yes.
So I was thinking to myself, well, I'm a community leader in Inglewood and Lock Haven community, and I'm like, man, well, maybe I need to, update, my skills and learning more things. And so I'm very interested in that, and I will be definitely reaching out to a few other females in our community that would love to do gang intervention and become a community leader,
Whenever you're
in our
ready,
area. Mm-hmm.
whenever you're ready, Raina,
Uh-huh.
I'll get you in that program. That's easy.
Okay, cool. Perfect. And then let's talk about author, the book.
Oh man, my new book will be out July 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Deadline so far is going pretty well. Called Don't Leak. My personal journey, personal transformation, motivational, inspirational. We're looking to do two books out of the one.
Mm-hmm.
One motivational, and then the second being kind of spiritual, with references from scriptures, because
Yes.
that's how my book is. Like chapter one, Revelations, right, and then it just talks about how honest are we with ourselves when dealing with ourselves and
Yes.
in that truth, and when no one else is around but us, right? When we have to look
Dang.
ourselves in the mirror and be honest with
Yes.
ourselves, and then how do we deal with that and the times that we are in now. So,
Mm-hmm.
I use it as a motivational piece, but then I reference it again from Revelations that gives us a point of talking points to where I'm able to be able to go to different demographics and geological demographics and speak on different levels. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to just pigeon myself down to just motivation. I wanted it to be two pronged where
Yeah.
it can reach many different genres.
I like that. I like that because you have a powerful story, and the blessing is that you're still on earth and you have purpose, because that's what obviously, when we wake up every morning, God gives us purpose to wake up again and continue doing his work. So what is your purpose and passion?
Um, my purpose and passion is to be able to pass this information that I'm receiving down to train the next leaders behind myself.
Yes.
I want to make sure that I'm the best father, the best son, the best student, the best leader that I can be on a day-to-day basis. I'm blessed to wake up every morning. I don't take any of this for granted.
That's right.
I know for a fact that I'm on borrowed time. I wasn't supposed to be here. I never thought I would even see 21, to be honest. So
Yes.
where I am now is I'm totally blessed. This is all God's time. I'm in the moment, and without Him, is nothing's possible. And you know what I mean. That's where I am.
Yeah. Well, I know that in this election I didn't win the mayor position, but I'm
Yes, you
running.
did. You
Aw.
won it.
Thank you.
Coming from where you come from again, and I say that, like, I know Raina from way back.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And just understanding, like, you spoke it into existence.
Yes.
And I really watched you and I seen it. And I said, now just really think now. Your name is there. And, I'm going to give you something else that's crazy. Aunt called me yesterday. His brother and them have a new restaurant, Soul Food Shack, right here in Inglewood on Market.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
So some of the city councilmen from Inglewood were there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me. He said, what's your girl name from Inglewood that ran for mayors? I say, Raina. He said, oh, yeah, they know her. I don't know who it was. And he said,
Yeah.
okay, I'll call you back. So and I said it to say, now your name is out there. They know
Yes.
who you are from that standpoint. Now you have something to measure where you need to go on the next journey,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So again, just prerequisites. But
Yes.
I already claim that you'll have that real soon, guaranteed.
Oh, thank you.
Guaranteed.
And I love hearing that from you, because when you value somebody and you admire them, especially value their opinion, it it makes you feel heartfelt to hear how, like right now for me personally, this is giving me my flowers while I'm alive. You know what I mean? That's what it really is. And I prefer to hear it now while I'm alive than when I'm buried in a coffin. I can't hear nothing. But I will share that I was going to like just throw, well, I know I did throw in the towel. I was like, I'm done. I did what I said I was going to do, and that's it. But my community told me, "Nah, Miss Carrillo or Raina, you got to run again in 4 years." And it's crazy because even though I didn't get 2022 mayor uh, position, the crazy thing is I had three older mentors that told me apply for this position,
Mm-hmm.
and I got it. So now California State Assembly Delegate District 61, which covers Inglewood, Lenox, Hawthorne,
Hello.
like a bigger,
Hello.
bigger pond.
Prophecy.
Man.
It's prophecy.
And so when that happened and the people were reaching out to me like, no, you got to go one more round, Raina, one more round. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like that was a lot going through because the first thing I knew from up front is I needed to raise 100 grand to be successful, to go against the Goliath. I didn't raise 100 grand. I only had 20K. But then people were reaching out to me saying, Raina, like you and Miss Maya Walker had 20 grand. Other people didn't, So that's a good thing, And meeting the other candidates, now we have a relationship now as community leaders. So now we have Miss Federica, and we're working with trying to fight to save our schools in the school district of Inglewood, because we're in a receivership. LACO is running Inglewood, and they're saying they're going to close my alma mater, which is Worthington Elementary, which is like something that I don't want to do, And then Miss Mia Walker, she also was a candidate, and we're working, all three of us together, collaborating on stopping the school closures in Inglewood because they're trying to profit. We have the funding to save Worthington, but they don't want to spend the money on it. They want to bust it down and either supposedly give it to the YMCA,
give it to the people
or
that really
condos.
don't need it.
Yeah.
Give it to the people that don't really need it.
And so just looking at like the new apartment buildings by the SoFi, a 3-bedroom is $6,500 a month. That is not for us Black and brown people.
Not at all.
When the Clippers came in, it was a lot of it was a lot of displacement.
Yes, indeed.
So I feel like, okay, God, I'm gonna go one more round because I believe in permanent housing. So the original Ingles of Inglewood can be able to stay in their home community, And so I know I have another journey, but now I feel like God has given me the platform now as a delegate,
of course,
to build relationship, to learn who are the heavy hitters in the money department so I can raise that 100K.
And then also to your point, you look at the position that you said that just opened for you.
Yes.
After the mayor's, so you understanding, it's not rejection, it's direction.
Yes.
It's just God placing where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And now just understanding, now really asking him what's the purpose of me being here? What am I supposed to get out of this? Yes. And then where am I going from here, right? Because it doesn't stop. Yeah. It's you're learning to appreciate the journey, not just the destination. It's an ongoing process. So you're just now getting your feet wet into a whole new genre, a whole new world. Yeah. To where you're building from ground up. Right? You have that base, that foundation to really build and grow from. Now it's nothing but up from here. Yeah. And then it just opens so many other doors for you on so many other levels. So it's a blessing.
I know my mentor that is, is the founder of luxemediastudios. She told me, she was like, once you become mayor, you got to stay in politics. So what's your next step after mayor? I said, governor of California. And she's like, okay, so after governor of California, what's next? I said, running for the president of the United States.
Hello.
And she's like, this is like something that, I didn't know this part, but it's always been a dream of mine since I was a child. When I went to my alma mater at Worthington for college career day, I got a chance to speak, to the students at Worthington. And I shared with them, when they asked me that question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, first, ballerina.
Ballerina?
Yes, I wanted to be a ballerina. And the second, the president of the United States.
Okay.
So the ballerina part came from this. We went to Palos Verdes to the Nutcracker to see the ballerinas. There was no Black or brown ballerinas. So I said, I love to dance. I want to be the first ballerina. Well, obviously the streets took me and it was no different ballerina. Journey. Yeah.
You were dancing to a different tune.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were dancing to a different tune.
Definitely. And so, I think about, how I ran for mayor, and even though it was rough, but I survived it. So I know I can do it again.
Guaranteed.
I know I can do it again.
Guaranteed.
So how can our viewers find you on social media? There you go.
T-Top Roof Don't Leak. TTOPROOF DONTLEAK, all one word. T-Top Roof Don't Leak. Uh, go on Facebook, my radio show, Motivational Money's. That's on there. You can pull that up as well. You know, tap in. It's regular. Y'all know what it is.
Yes. So, because you're a man of many words and very powerful when you speak, can you close out Purpose and Passion with something to inspire those viewers that are watching us today?
Purpose. Purpose is really every morning that God allow us to wake up every morning. We have a purpose. And you know, they say there's two great things in a man and woman life. It's the moment we're born and the moment we understand our purpose.
Yes.
So I think every day as we go through our journey, we strive to fulfill our purpose. And once we reach and understand our purpose, then I believe that's when the light comes on. And the passion has to be just the drive to want to be better every day, to get our people out of the less fortunate circumstances that we're in. Dare to struggle, sure to win. Purpose and passion with my girl Raina Carrillo out of Inglewood. Y'all tap in, man. Best platform, man. And we got to get behind her for 26, man, the Inglewood mayor.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. I love you, Tommy. You're my boy. You're my boy. Well, this is Purpose and Passion. Raina Carrillo signing out with AKA T-Top. Until then, we'll see you next week on Purpose and Passion. Peace out.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.